Hey, welcome back to another great episode for Residuals for Life brought to you by IGT. Oh my gosh, you guys are in for a treat today. I'm blessed to be sitting down with the intelligent, the gifted. He's a coach, cheerleading coach, matter of fact. He's originally from Georgia, and now he's an IT manager for Peju Winery. Been in the IT business for about at least 20 plus years, wealth of knowledge. He's an expert in the field, and his story is amazing because not only is he was a customer, but now he's also an agent. You guys, be ready for Chad Culbreth. Here we go. But before I do that, I have a cool video to share with you. It's our stinger.
Three, two, one.
Yes, of course. If you guys are tuning in, you're on Residuals for Life brought to you by IGT. And I'm blessed to be sitting down with the talented, gifted Chad Culbreth, IT manager for Peju Winery. Has been in the IT telecom industry for about 20 plus years, a wealth of knowledge, an expert. We're going to learn a lot from him today and why he believes in Residuals for Life. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Culbreth. Yo, 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 what's up, Chad?
What's up? So fun.
Hey,
Thank
can
you
you?
for having me, bud.
Absolutely, man. Can you hear us pretty well? We're good?
Sounds great.
All right, buddy. Man, welcome to the show. Dave said some amazing things about you. I was super excited to actually learn your journey, learn your story, how did this even all started, and how you became an agent. But before you became an agent, you were actually a customer first. So for the audience that actually don't know too much about you, can you just give us a brief history about who you are?
Yeah. So my name's Chad. I'm from Rome, Georgia, small town about an hour north of Atlanta. I'm a country boy. You don't see that much in IT, but I was born and raised in the country, out in the woods, uh, and yeah, I ended up in the IT industry, and one thing led to another, and I end up here in California and loving it. I'm the IT manager for Peju Winery, and also an agent for IGT, and life's great, man.
No, congratulations, man. That's awesome. So you started in Georgia, came to the winery, wine country, Napa. Um, in your honest opinion, who has the best wines?
So I'm biased. I
Oh, of
love
course.
Peju wines.
Yeah.
Just a quick backtrack. I did not enjoy wine before I started working for Peju. I was a
Okay.
beer and whiskey drinker. That was all I drank, beer and whiskey. I really never had a taste for wine. But when I started working for the winery, I have now developed a wine palate. So I'm a Cabernet Sauvignon drinker.
Ooh, nice, man. You must be spoiled too. Definitely biased too. So give us like, how did you get into this telecom industry?
So, uh, funny story. My freshman year of college, I decided I was going to go be a psychology major,
Nice.
and I believe it was probably second semester of my freshman year is when I really started a lot of the mandatory computer classes. And when I started those, I was pretty much hooked on IT at that point. Prior to that, I didn't have much knowledge of computers or didn't work with them much. So when I started taking these were like 101 level courses, but when I started taking those computer courses, um, is when I got into the IT industry and got more interested in what was going on and what I could do with a job in the IT industry. So shortly thereafter is when I changed my major um, and stuck with it, and I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Now, when you stuck with it, and what was the most exciting part of the job? Like, what is that you saw that hey, this is something that I'm really passionate about?
So I think my passion with it started with fixing computers.
Oh, okay.
Taking them apart, changing out the hard drive, changing out memory. I think that's what kind of hooked me, and then it just kind of blossomed from there. I started discovering other avenues within IT and within the I guess the computer industry as a whole, um, and uh, I just ran with it.
Okay, so that led you to Peju Winery. Now, how did you end up coming across IGT, Integrated Global Technology?
So we, and when I say we, I'm talking about Peju Winery.
Hmm.
We were in the process of moving our company servers from one data center to another. Um, and during that process, some of the people that I was speaking with when reaching out for quotes and things like that, they directed me to David. Um, and at first I was kind of standoff because I didn't really. I'd had a lot of dealings, I guess, with brokers that try to quote me on multiple services and things like that, and it was always kind of shady. Um,
Wow.
and so when they introduced me to David, at first I was just like, oh man, it's another, it's just another broker company trying to squeeze every dollar out of us they can.
Right.
Um, but I let him talk to me, and I let him produce a quote for us, or multiple quotes actually, and it just blew every other quote we had out of the water. I mean, it was 50 to 60% less than what we had already been quoted, and
Wow.
I was kind of surprised,
Yeah.
and then like there's something under this,
Right.
there's a catch here.
Hmm.
But there wasn't. David, he's in this business to help people, and he made that very clear with me.
Hmm.
When we reviewed contracts for the quotes that he gave us, there's no gotcha. It's the same service you would get if you went retail with some of these providers. Except you would pay 30 to 60% more going that route.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, that's how I got involved with IGT, and it saved us 60% of our monthly telecom, internet, and phone bill.
Right.
Um, it made me look like a hero to the leadership at the winery
I
because
bet. Wow.
I just out. I think I want to say I cut out 90 grand a year just with uh, switching switching over to these new providers.
Wow. Those guys, that's someone's salary, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
That is wow. That's phenomenal. I love that story. And was that the reason why they kept you on for at least 7 years? Right? They're like,
Who knows? Who knows? They keep putting up with me, so
right? Oh no, that's phenomenal. And so at one point you realize, hey, you know what? I can actually be part of this company, be an agent. How did that come about when you met Dave?
Well, we when that came about, we had just turned in our signed paperwork to sign up with these new providers and get those services, installed. And I was kind of having follow up calls with David to make sure he received everything, and he said, "Hey, you got a minute to talk?" And he gave me his spiel about this is something you could do. He said, I just saved you a bunch of money, made you look like a hero.
Hmm.
You could go and help others and do the same, and at the same time make some money. And he kind of, David, he's a wonderful guy. He's poured out his heart into this company, and he just kind of talked me through that. And um, the big catch for me was there were no minimums. So,
Oh.
you know,
Hmm.
there's,
Like no
it was,
quotas, what you mean? Like there's no minimums you have to
yeah,
do.
yeah, no
Okay.
quotas. You work when you want to with
Right.
IGT. You can make as much money as you want and as little as you want. It's completely up to you. And that I was hooked then,
Yes. So like don't
as a,
quit your
as an agent.
yeah, as an agent. I mean, and the
Yeah,
customer too, right?
yeah.
That's cool.
But he had already hooked me as a customer at that
Right.
point. I was hooked then, and that's what got me as the agent.
Okay. Wow, and you saw some value there, and you started coming on board and building residuals for life. And now, being in the IT industry, there's been a lot of changes, right, in the telecom industry. Looking ahead, like, where do you think this is going? You think people will continue to use phone and internet in the future?
Oh, you got to. You got to, man. Everything we have, just think about it. Everything you have in your house, in your business, it's all connected to the internet. Your refrigerator, yeah, I mean, they got
Oh, that's
toasters that connect to the internet.
yeah, you're
You
right.
know what I mean? Uh, and that's just the way we as a society are trending.
Hmm.
Is everything's connected.
Yes,
And if you don't have it, or if you have it and you're paying a lot of money, what are you doing? You know.
I agree. I agree. Now, it's one of the things, like especially in my house, we have so many devices linked up to our internet, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just like everyone else, right? We have our Alexas, we have our iPads, our refrigerator, but you can have so much stuff linked up to the Wi-Fi, and you need a lot of bandwidth now, and obviously you have to pay for it. I remember the conversation that we had off camera. You mentioned that even if you're saving 60% with IGT, like the customer service, the support, you it was still white glove VIP experience. And tell me more about that. Even though you're saving money by going with the wholesale and go pricing, you're not it's you're not sacrificing quality.
No. In fact, quality was doubled, really tripled with our new provider.
Wow.
Um, and actually, let me back up. The process when I started getting quotes from Dave, the whole process Dave, from the first conversation that Dave and I had all the way up until he handed us off to our new providers, it was top notch. I'm talking, I was kept informed of every single step all the way through. And then they hand you off to the support of your providers when all that stuff is installed. It never stopped. Our new providers are the best I've ever worked with.
Wow. Wow. Because you take a little bit of risk, and especially you don't want mud on your
Yeah.
face. And when you try to tell a company, say, hey, we have someone that can save us 60%, and going this route, wholesale pricing route, I know you were probably a little worried like these guys better not embarrass me, right? Even though we're cutting costs down and lowering our budget, but you're not going with a subpar service. So then that's phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. It was very surprising and refreshing, to see that after so many years of craziness and crazy pricing. And yeah.
Awesome. So you said the IT industry, just everything in general is going to change in the near future, and people will need more bandwidth, and might as well go with the
Yep.
wholesale pricing. And I know that I ask you a lot of different questions, but just before we cut out, any final thoughts you kind of want to share to the audience that's maybe considering becoming an agent so they can build residuals for life, or maybe just they just want to become a customer, because you actually have the customer experience and also as an experience as an agent as well.
Yeah. uh Working with IGT on either end is probably the best decision you'll make, when trying to either choose providers for services or trying to make residuals. You won't be disappointed either route you take, or if you take both routes.
There you go. There you go. Even if you take both routes, well, man, this is exciting stuff, and I know there's a lot of people's going to inquire and learn more about you. Is there like a contact information and any type of like, how can they reach out to you and ask you any questions, and maybe learn about more how
Yeah.
they can become a sub agent?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. Just search for Chad Culbreth. I have a Facebook profile. I'll send you that when we're done.
Okay, cool.
And do you take personal email? I can send you that. I don't know if you can put that in here somehow.
Yeah, we'll have the contact information on here, and make sure they can see. And you know what? Not everyone will qualify for wholesale pricing. I just encourage people to just take a shot. reach out to either
Yeah.
one of us, and we can evaluate your situation. And right, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, all they
Yeah.
we really needs is just a monthly statement, what they're currently paying now, what are they paying for, and do what we call, what Dave likes to say, an authorization of quote,
Yep. Yeah.
just to
It's
see if
that
there's
simple.
any savings. Cool. You ready for the fun part of the podcast I didn't tell you about?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna ask you three questions, right? These are fun questions, and you can answer them. Yeah, first thing that comes to mind. So, you ready for this? First
Yes.
one: what roles do smartphones play in the next decade?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, I, I mean, think about it. Smartphones already run our lives. You watch shows. Um, I believe the smartphone is kind of going to evolve into a personal assistant with AI becoming a huge thing now.
Mm,
We already have Siri and things like that. I think it's going to be taken a couple of steps forward from just a voice assistant. Um, I don't know how it would take those steps forward, but if you think about what's come out now with AI and machine learning, I mean, the sky's the limit with these devices.
it's kind of scary, right? And now the next
Yeah.
question: if you were to take the stage and speak about something that's important to you, what would you speak about?
I would speak about the importance of good cybersecurity. And I'm not talking about specifically with businesses.
Hmm.
I'm talking about with personal bank accounts information. The importance of good cybersecurity hygiene. Um, I don't think people understand going back to AI with the creation and the release of AI to the general public now. Um, Cybersecurity is going to be it's going to be a whole lot scarier place than what we have seen moving up to this point.
Awesome. Well, Chad, it's been fun talking to you, and I appreciate sharing your insight, and especially on the industry. You've been in this for 20 years. I know there's a lot of stuff coming, and I think you're right. There's people they need to be more careful online, especially with cybersecurity and all these deep fakes, AI stuff, and they definitely have to protect themselves a lot more.
Absolutely, I look forward to it.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me on here, Stefan. Thank
A-
you.
Absolutely, Chad. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to learn more information, again, contact with Chad or myself, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Dave Kirby, founder and president of IGT. I got to pay somebody. Might as well be you.
3, 2, 1.